Masithole ubuya phi Madlamini ubuya phi Madlamini ubuya phi Madlam hayibo ngibuya dolobheni ngibuya dolobheni ngibuya dolobheni ubuya ye zani na ubuya ye zani na ubuya ye zani hayibo bengiyothe ngisigqoko bengiyothe ngisigqoko bengiyothe ngisigqoko hayibo sibiza malini nasibiza malini nasibiza malini hayibo sibiza ishumilopho ndolibiza ishumilopho sibiza ishumilopho uyithatha phi malina uyithatha phi malina uyithatha phi malina yewe ngiyazise benzela ngiyazise angisakufuni Madlamini angisakufuni Madlamini yebo la Masithole must I will. Oh, Masithole I will. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's watch the video. Thank you. Let's watch the video.
That was fun. And after a big meal, nogal. That was so much fun. Is everyone back? Is everyone back in the hall? Aluta continua? Okay, let's keep it moving. Next thing on our program, I'm just going to call upon Dr. Cindy Zamura Bernard to come through and actually make this particular announcement as we're going to be watching a video.
Well, thank you, Thokozani. So you just got recruited. Kawemene said we are taking her we're going to Seychelles, Kenya, Uganda, and Namibia next year. So you are recruited. Oh my God. Yeah, so the forum is going to 4 countries next year. So she's Wahamba Uzoza no Masithole. All of us. Oh, this room is going, yeah. Is that right? Perfect. I knew Johannesburg was going to give us more troops. We needed it. Nepas. Okay. Well, it is my pleasure. Welcome back. We do apologize for the late start, but we needed to be fed. It is my pleasure. First of all, I'd like to send apologies on behalf of Her Excellency Umama Uphumzile Mlambo Ngcuka. She had to travel on, she had to stay out of the meeting today, even though she was meant to be here. She's one of the pioneers of this event today, but she had something she had to attend where she could not miss it. But because she always thinks ahead, I was able to visit her on Monday, Ekaya, and we had time to sit down and have an intimate chat together. And luckily enough, the team thought, let's just put cameras so we could have a conversation, and maybe, God forbid, because we know they're always traveling, something happens and she can't be there or she has a meeting, you can share it so people can get to see her. She's here with us in spirit. And of course, we have the Umlambo Foundation interns that are here, and the Umlambo Foundation team. And as you are aware, Umlambo Foundation is one of the partners that are here hosting this event today. So we'd like to give a warm thanks. I think Umama Lakona, if she can see us, she's watching, please give a round of applause. She can hear your roar in the room, as always. And she is the pioneer of the Women Lead Forum. As it was said before, she's the one who launched it with us in Tanzania. So we know we always have her support and beyond. And so I just invite you briefly to watch the short interaction I had with her. Thank you.
And I think Ausera knows it. She's a managing director in an advertising agency. We have this tendency of glorifying working long hours and then putting up a status that you were up until 4 a.m. Please stop. It's not cute. Right? Let's have a life-work balance. Without any further ado, I'm going to call upon Carol Zinclaim-Loy, BRICS leadership representation. And she's going to come and introduce her panelist as well as what topic they will be unpacking. If I can just have... Oh, we're going to be... Okay, so we're going to be having a poem first. Sorry. From Ntethelelo representation. I don't have a name yet.
Hello everyone, hi. I go by the name of Lebogang Lekalakala, and I'm also part of the Ntethelelo Foundation group, which is based on Sitwetla, in the scholar camp for young girls and boys. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to be reciting a poem. Please enjoy. Tears in my environment. Teenagers are filled with sadness and anger. We never get a chance to dream big or explore because of the poor education we get. Our parents' eyes are filled with tears each and every day because they want to see our dreams being successful, but they see like they fail. Wherever we go, we hear voices barking behind our backs, saying all the bad things about our environment and how we live. The reason I live in this kind of environment, it is not my choice. It is not my decision. But it's a situation chose to happen because of the system of apartheid. A situation that I'm willing to change no matter the situations. Young girls, their lives are chaotic. Young women are no longer going to school. All they do, they just roam in the streets of Sitwetla, doing nothing, endangering their lives all in the name of hustling. Men throwing themselves at them. Men whom we call our fathers. Men whom we call our brothers and uncles. We do not have electricity, no water, no internet connection. Whenever it is raining, we don't know what to cover or what to leave because of the leaks that are inside our shacks. And yet we say we have houses, we have rights. Thank you.
That was so lovely. A round of applause one more time. Absolutely loved it. Carol?
Yo, Chomi, I'm stressed. At home there's no food. And my mother doesn't care. I have to take care of kids.
Chomi, you know this is a difficult situation. Like, look at we don't have food. I don't know what at night before we sleep, Rocha. We have
Chomi,
nothing,
so
Chomi.
rough.
It's difficult.
Nina at least alina dijo cause alina batswadi. Nna ke na le yena motswadi. O ipopotla ko tjwaleng nje. Unore o hlezi nje a le drunk. Yo, a nna ke tshwere ke stress sham. Mara ba gopola re topetse di cans. A reng ro di kadisa.
You know recycling is the best.
A re yeng. Robitsanso. Oh, a re yeng. How Chomi?
Chomi yak.
O sharp.
Sharp wena.
Le nna re sharp.
Chomi, it's a miriri. This is
Sure.
beautiful work.
Wa tseba. Manje o loga ka bokae mo?
50 rand Chomi.
50 rand.
This is real entrepreneurship, Chomi. Real.
E tla le rena re o phanda ge. Guys, tsa rona di kae? Malome nkile. Malome nkile di kwato.
Malume dikoti tsa rena di kae?
Malome wena o na live yo.
Uphuzile uphuze imali yethu yomakoti malume.
Iyashisa lo
Malume
shisa.
ukuthi kunzima kanjani empilweni wena uthatha imali yethu uphuze utshwala ngayo. Malume
Isimalanina. Umalume isela yo. We are going to do the second play and you are going to shout stop. We are going to change a negative scene into a positive one.
Yo, Chomi, I'm stressed. At home there's no food. My mother doesn't care.
Yes,
Sharp,
sharp Lena.
sharp.
Chomi. Hayi sebo. Hayi si Chomi. 50 rand. It's such a good work, Chomi. Match up your price.
Ngisho ne-bray pack.
Chomi ayireki ko botsa ka makanda. Ini makanda ayireki next Chomi.
You
must upgrade it.
Shabuluga jwang. Na o tle le 50 rand vele.
50 rand vele ngizoyenzani?
Wena ungabukhuluma ngoba ubuhlakaniphile kakhulu.
Awunabahlonzi.
Ima, leyo 50 rand leyo angithi nawe uyayidinga. Angithi 50 rand.
Chomi besithi siyayenza i-recycling laphaya. Awuhambi nathi Chomi.
Uzokhona kunomunye azayo.
Sho ukuthi
Busy wena
Busy.
Nemali
Yes. Nani bantu?
Godi.
saze savelelwa.
Dikhane tsa rona di kae malume?
Ningawari angizisanga lutho
sikhona le igodgodzeni ngisifake la ukuthi abantu bangasitshoni ngiyazinakanela sikhona ngisifake lapha ngiyazi ukuthi ngiyacabangela ukuthi itshwala ngeke ngize next ngiyazi ukuthi le ndlini la siyasokola sifuna ukudla every time namanje akunakudla asizameni bazali asambe sosikalisa siyabonga malume.
Mara Malungu Jeshadimi, man. Malungu Jeshadimi, no ways. That was very beautiful, such a talented bunch. Let's give them a round of applause. Carol, now I'm calling you for real. She's been coming up. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, awaluna. I'm pretty sure some people are starting to think, oh, these are Carol. Eh? Can we give it up for Ntetelelo, guys? Do we have youth in the house? Yes. Oh, what this youth is not giving. Didn't we have lunch? Do we have youth in the house? Yes. Danko. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished protocol members, and honorable ministers. My name is Carol Zinhlemloi, and I am a computer science major, a SABIA, which is the South Africa BRICS Youth Association member, and a media personality. I am here today at the Women Lead Forum to address a vital topic, the inclusive youth agenda in South Africa. The question before us is, are our young people prepared for leadership, entrepreneurship, generational influence, and change? We were honored to have distinguished guests like Her Excellency, Minister Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, and in absentia, former Vice President, Dr. Phumzile Lambuncuka, here with us. South Africa stands at a critical juncture, and a role of our youth is paramount. We must consider whether our youth are ready for leadership, entrepreneurship, shaping the future, and driving change. I draw inspiration from my experience after joining the BRICS Youth Energy Summit, where I gained valuable insights into energy, technology, and transformation. And I encourage my peers to explore such opportunities and be the change agents South Africa, Africa, and the world needs. We benefit from wisdom and achievements of those who came before us, like Minister Dr. Dlamini-Zuma and Her Excellency Dr. Mlambuncuka, who've shown that leadership transcends age and gender, reaffirming the power of young people to shape our nation's destiny. In my conclusion, our youth are equipped for leadership, entrepreneurship, influence, and change. With the right resources and collective effort, we can empower our youth to lead, innovate, and ensure a better future for South Africa. I look forward to this insightful discussion, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our esteemed panelists, Wendy Nkuna, President of Ntetelelo Foundation, Kawega Zimene, founder of Transition Africa, and Patuche Zombezi from Umlambo Foundation. Can we give them a hand as they come to the stage? Thank you. Aren't they looking lovely on their stage? This is youth, it's our time, guys. So I'll just give them the platform to introduce themselves and tell us what they're all about.
Hi everyone,
My name is Wendy Kuna, a grade 11 learner at Kwabehilanga Secondary School. So the topic that I chose today is entrepreneurship, since here in South Africa we need entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Standing before you is Pathuchezo Mbezi. Pathuchezo as in blessings. I'm from Limpopo in a small village called Vuwani. And I'm here with Umlambo Foundation as an intern. And first of all, I would like to thank our mama in her absence, Dr. Phumzile Mlambo, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Khawekazi Mene. I'm the founder of Transitioning Africa. I am Dr. Cindy's mentee. And yeah, it's an honor for me to be sitting here on this panel. Thank you.
Okay, so a question to my panelists. I already said that our question today is, are our young people prepared for leadership, entrepreneurship, and generational influence and change? What is your take on it?
From my side, I think we are prepared, since as the WOMEN Foundation, we encourage young girls and young men how to become the future leaders of tomorrow. And also we try by all means to bring technology into our lives to see how we can solve the problems that we have in our communities.
If I would like to rephrase from the question, according to my understanding, we are not equipped enough. I have written this as a debate. It's nothing personal. So on my side, the answer is no. Because we have lack of relevant skills. Many young people may not have necessary skills required by their employees. We graduate from different universities, different colleges, and after graduating, we don't get jobs. And when we talk about limited work experience, we might find that we don't have enough experience and we can't compete with the candidates who have experience. Another thing which is going on in this country, we have bursaries, yes, and there is this saying that the school is free. But as today, their kids were busy striking in university due to lack of bursaries. And when they strike, it's their rights. After striking, they got arrested. And when they arrest them, they got criminal record, which means no one is going to hire them again. So it's the problem as we are facing as youth. So when we can continue, we are going to talk about leadership. When we talk about leadership, the government is trying by all means it can to give us opportunity. As you can see me now, I am given an opportunities, but not everyone is given this opportunity. And if I can rephrase from myself, I completed my N6 around 2020, and since 2020, I haven't get any placement until last year. So this is the proof that we are not equipped enough to become a leaderships. So in conclusion, I think that's all I can say. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to speak from a different perspective. I'm a young person, a South African young person who I think has had a good run in terms of being a young person. I think I'm a young person who has had access to opportunities. Yes, I was born into that, but I think I had some will, right? And I think as young people, I think we are not prepared for leadership because we don't understand our sense of agency. The resources are there, we can access them, but we don't know how to tap into them because we want to kind of sit on the surface. So we had the discussion earlier about the African Continental Free Trade Area. I'm a trainee of institutions, intergovernmental institutions. I met Dr. Cindy when she was still at the African Union Commission. And that was a process through which I was able to define my agency, what policies are there in place for me to tap into, and the various spheres that as young people we can actually find something to do. So it's not that we're not prepared because we're not educated. South Africa has a great education. I saw yesterday that we even beat Egypt. I mean, Egypt is one of the strong economies in this continent, and yet we still have that high ranking. So we have that. We have decent public schools, comparing, don't mean to compare, but it's the truth. We have good social systems, social welfare systems. We have good subsidizing kind of structures for women in agriculture. So we have all of those things. But we want to plow into certain parts of a sector and not really look into the less glamorous things. And I think we're prepared mentally, we're prepared, I think we desire those things, but there's something that doesn't allow us to quite follow through in the other areas. And so in that aspect, we're not prepared. And so I think we need to identify our agency, because we're not all going to be in government, we're not all going to work in corporate. But if I can do hair, I can manufacture the hair, I can import the hair, from wherever. You can really have this mindset of like doing anything. You can sell anything, you can do anything. But you require a sense of agency to be able to do that. And you need to read, you need to ask for help. And that is where we're not prepared. But we're prepared in terms of our education and our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much to my panelists for such insightful points. I have a question though. What are the key skills and knowledge areas that young people need to be equipped with for effective leadership in South Africa today? What are the key skills and knowledge areas that young people need to be equipped with for effective leadership in South Africa today?
We as the youth of South Africa, we need to be encouraged to do more. Also us as the youth, the future is in our hands. We need to work effectively and think creatively when doing things. I understand when you say there are no opportunities in South Africa, but we must also think about the solutions that we must come with to solve these kind of problems. Thank you.
If I can understand you very well, your question is opposite to what I was talking. So don't be surprised when I'm going to answer a question direct, not what I was talking about. So to answer your question, we have to continuous learning, because the more we learn, the more we become creative. And we need to build the relationship with people in high positions. That's when we'll be able to start our own business. So in short, that's all I can say. And we need to seek for sponsors in order to start a business. There are people from NYDA who are urged to help youth who want to start a business. So yeah.
Okay, so I think it's a combination of internal, more soft skills, and then literal skills. So I think we do need skills. We need to be trained in the various sectors that we choose to go into. But you can be trained and go through a module and get an education. But what you do with that is what matters. And that's what determines that you become a leader, or, you know, how you kind of navigate your journey and your growth. So I think we do need those skills. If you want to become a fashion designer, go to fashion school. If you don't have the money, figure out how to do it. Ask for help. On a more internal, more mental kind of will level, you need to have this thing where, I don't want to say you're teachable, but you need to yield to knowledge, you know? I have good people, you know. I knew what I wanted, and I asked for the help in that direction. Dr. Cindy will tell you, I was small when she met me. But you continuously ask for help. And when you ask for help, you kind of have that understanding of where you're going and what you need to get there. But you understand that every opportunity every space that you find yourself in is an opportunity to learn. So I think the skills that you need for leadership are planning, like you need to have a sense of direction and a will, but you also need to have a self-awareness, because that's how you capitalize on the environments that you find yourselves in each moment at a time. And when you are around women who are better than you, don't be offended. If you have a bachelor's and that lady has a PhD, you're gonna get that PhD. Learn from her, absorb her, yield and see those moments as blessings. Leadership is not academic or political. Those are the technical stuff. But really, we can have bad leaders and a mess in a corporate environment in any space, but that space comes alive through, you know, that internal thing that you come with. And so I think as young people, we really need to really own this intergenerational space. It works, I can tell you for free. And have that, that will and that self-awareness inside you to maximize on each moment. And I think that's what makes a leader, well, while they're still developing. Thank you.
Thank you so much to my fellow panelists. Just to add on to what you guys have been saying, I think as youth, you know, we tend to relax a bit, you know. I've heard a lot of youth saying, but we're not giving opportunities, but what are you doing? You know, to reach out, to look for those opportunities. Sometimes we will never be heard. You need to kick those down. And skills go beyond education, you know. The amount of time that we spend TikToking and Netflixing, we can use it to learn a new skill online and bring change to our communities, to our country, and globally. Now, before I close the panel, I see there's a lot of questions. There's one there from the table.
Mine is not a question. I see there is a lot of talent here. And as young people that are coming, you must get focused. I'm happy that you nearly touched something that is within my understanding. That as young people, you must not go and look at government, you need to own means of production. You nearly touched that, and I was happy for that. Because we must not create a situation where we are going to be employees. That word, it is killing us. People are fighting because they want to get jobs, but create jobs. And I think what you are saying is very much important. From the young person from Alex, I'm very proud of what you just answered. It shows that if we can give more support to young people like you, tomorrow we're going to change the situation. But I'm glad that Cindy, you organize young people. And I think the thinking must change. We must have to do things differently. Tina's Gugile, you know, this Thokozan was just a young girl when I know Thokozan. Young, very much young, she can tell you. But today is a leader, leading other young people. And what I'm trying to say, Cindy, change the thinking. We cannot do things as usual. We must have an approach that tomorrow when you go to another country, we'll be saying what you did to South Africa, we are showcasing. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Mandombi Makopa. So I just want to also maybe just touch on and add on what Mama said over here, but also generally hearing the overall conversations of what today is. I think the important thing as youth is to understand that being successful as a youth person or being in leadership, it's not sitting in the corner office. It's not being in the C-suites and wanting to be a founder and the CEO. I think it's important for young people to understand that we actually need to be on the ground. And maybe it comes with a bit of entitlement, but I want to move away from that, but also understand and speak to our elders, right? I think, as one of the speakers said, that but I think at the same time, we need our parents, our mothers, our fathers to put us in those positions. Because that is why you find that today, even in leadership, understandably so, young people will continue to fight for as long as older people will sit in the positions. At the end of the day, you guys have worked up until a certain point. You need to hand over the baton. Because for as long as you don't, we will continue to be subjected and try and, you know, say that, no, but I went to Women Lead Forum and I still feel like I haven't gained anything out of it. As young people, take the initiative. If you speak to someone that you feel has resonated with you today, action tomorrow. Older people, answer our WhatsApps, answer our phone calls, the emails, because those are the steps that we need, right? That is part of what places, this is why we come here, you know? We come here to be educated, we come here to be empowered by people like you, but enough for us to have an impact in the greater generations. So yeah, those are my parting words.
Okay, thank you so much. Because of time, we're gonna wrap up our panel. Thank you so much to my beautiful panelists for joining me for this powerful talk.
The future is packed with independent leaders, isn't it? Creative leaders, huh? Creative, effective. That's beautiful. A round of applause for them one more time. So we're just chasing time a bit, but rest assured, towards the end, we are going to have a general Q&A, and everyone will ask everything it is that they need to ask. Once again, I'm going to call the star of the show to come and introduce the next film that, yes, I'm so sorry, you're the Vogue girl. To come and introduce the film that we are about to watch, just to give a bit of background to it.
Thank you so very much again. I think I was saying it this morning that as much as it might look like I like the cameras, the microphones and everything, I do not. I prefer to be at the back. But in any way, it is my pleasure, we're racing against time, to share with you a film called The Rise. Just to give you context, we are slated to be filming a 6-part documentary series after the Women Lead Forum, traveling across Southern Africa to share stories about African entrepreneurs, African women and youth who are in businesses, who are thriving to promote their communities who are traders. I'm not sure how many of us understand in the room here understand about the AFCFTA. I'm sure you had Umama Zuma talk about it. I'm sure you had some of us talk a little bit about it. But basically, in short, the AFCFTA is a new agreement from the African Union that proposes and promises to uplift over 1.3 billion people in Africa out of poverty. And having worked at the AUC a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity when after AFCFTA Secretariat opened in Ghana to sit down and actually share my experiences. And so it really is an honor in 2023 to be able to be traveling across Southern Africa with my team as the organization that will be filming a documentary about the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, actually going to those communities where women and youth are making change, and we're bringing it up to Africa and to the African Union, but also to the world to say, these are the people that are going to have impact in Africa. And for this agreement to work, as women, as youth, these are our stories, these are our struggles. The film touches on issues of free movement of persons. We have issues of visas. When you're South African, you need to have a visa to go and enter a certain country. When you're Nigerian, you need a visa to travel to Zimbabwe, regardless of what you're doing. The AFCFTA promises that it will uplift all those concerns that we have. But it also means that Thokozani, who's an artist in South Africa, can go and work with someone in Morocco without having to worry about tariffs, without having to worry about hiring measures that are strict. It means that Cindy can take baskets that are made by women in Kulumane or in Nketa in Zimbabwe and be able to move them all the way to Ethiopia without having to worry about tariffs and so forth. But it also will really convene Africa to come together, especially for women and children. So it is my pleasure to share a little bit about the film. The film has been done in West Africa, and the film producer is a young man, a youth leader, very vibrant. He was meant to be here, but unfortunately, again, I must stress, because of visa issues, his visa did not arrive on time for him to be at Women Lead Forum today. So it is a plea to our government and a plea to the African Union for that one Africa, the free travel of persons, to say, if we are really going to prosper Africa, we need to ensure that as Africans, we consider each other first before we consider the West or anyone else outside. And through this film, we're going to be touching on those things. We could have had David Akora here today, but we understand the due process. And he's supporting us online. You will see a little bit of the film, but I just want to say congratulations. This film is going to be about us. And as we travel to Lesotho, Eswatini, Namibia, Malawi, Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, we are going to be tapping into the very communities, talking to young people, talking to women, and really bringing out that Africa that we want. And Mama Pumzile said, there's a place in hell for women who don't support women. And with me being in the forefront of this film as the editor, executive producer of the film, part of Southern Africa Embrace Foundation, I said, no, I want women to come with me on this film because I want to work with women and I want to work with youth. So here's the film. Thank you.
The Committee of Foreign Ministers, officials and experts should be empowered to establish, 1, a commission to frame a constitution for the Union Government of African States. 2, a commission to work out a continent-wide plan for the united or common economic and industrial program for Africa. This plan should include for setting up a common market for Africa, an African currency, African monetary zone, an African central bank, a continental communication system.
Faisons en sorte également que le marché africain soit le marché des Africains. Produire en Afrique, transformer en Afrique et consommer en Afrique. Produisons ce dont nous avons besoin et consommons ce que nous produisons au lieu d'importer.
African Continental Free Trade Area is an agreement that is meant to increase intra-Africa trade. It is meant to increase investment. For many years, Africa has been an exporter of raw materials. Now this is the time that we would like to use this agreement for development.
The African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is a very great initiative. It's very laudable, and I believe that through that agreement and platform, it enhances ecosystem building, and so that the relevant stakeholders in the African countries involved, as well as industries, are able to build products or produce services that just don't satisfy the needs of the people in their countries, but across Africa.
But the AFCTA's role is to facilitate that fluidity in trade when it comes to the movement, the free movement of people, goods, and services, reducing taxes, opening up borders, creating one market. So that is its objective. So if it does any of these objectives, it accomplishes any of these objectives, then obviously most of the struggles that we face as SMEs, which is obviously taxes. We're not large companies, so taxes are a lot for us.
Alors, la ZLECA permettra aux PME comme nous de nous ouvrir à d'autres marchés africains en Afrique.
In the Gambia, as a tailor, I face a lot of challenges when it comes to machinery and, let's say, cross-border trade, which is something that they are really stepping into. And I believe once it's implemented, it is really going to help some of us intertrade among African countries.
The need for Africa to integrate into doing business is a must, and it has to be done. In Ghana, there's a cooperation a link between Ghana and Ivory Coast in terms of monopolizing the cocoa sector. Today, if all things goes on well, we will determine the price of cocoa for our country, not any superpower to sit down somewhere and decide for us.
So it's not the reverse. We will not be exporting raw materials. We'll be exporting finished product. And when we're exporting finished product, it means that if I'm getting cotton from, say, Togo, I'm bringing it to Nigeria, I'm processing it, I'm adding value, I'm designing it. So people who do design, there's job for you to do. People who are going to do the mechanical work, the factory work, there's job for you to do. People who are going to do marketing, there's job for you to do.
Even though we're one Africa, but we have a little bit of problem with language, certifications. For instance, in Nigeria, if I have NAFDAC, which is a certification body, I move to Niger Republic, they don't recognize it. It's going to be a liaison between the certification bodies. So when I have a certification in Nigeria, it's going to be accepted in Morocco, down all the way to Angola, and we move all towards the side of Congo. So when this happens, it means there's going to be a freeway, more production will be involved, more traffic, more sales, and more money.
According to the studies that are available, SMEs constitute up to 80% of the economies of many of the African countries. Now, in terms of the cross-border trade, they constitute 40% of what we trade across borders in Africa. So it is significant. It is one constituency that we have identified at the Secretariat as key in terms of increasing intra-Africa trade.
C'est vraiment incontestablement, une telle opportunité va révolutionner l'économie africaine. Parce que l'économie africaine est à plus de combien de pourcents par exemple, en Côte d'Ivoire, on importe 500 milliards en valeur de riz. 500 milliards de francs CFA rien que pour le riz, qui est une denrée de première nécessité. Et qui pousse en 3 mois Voilà. Et on va l'importer de Thaïlande et de l'Asie pour pouvoir nourrir des personnes qui en ont besoin au quotidien. C'est vraiment absurde tout ça. Avec les cas, si on produit du riz ici, on préfère même l'importer d'un autre pays africain, mais tout simplement aussi même le produire localement pour que nous aussi on puisse le vendre.
Going through the difficult time of, look at the pineapples, planting for a year and a half, getting the pineapples to be ready. If I'm not able to cross borders and take my product, that will be a huge challenge. So what AFTA can do for us is that they have to make sure that the custom officers at the border posts are educated about AFTA, so that when you get there, you will not face the usual problems that you face. Because sometimes you will get there and you have to stay there for a day, 2 or 3 before you cross. For fresh and perishable like my product, you cannot afford to waste even 1 day.
Évidemment, évidemment, évidemment. Puisque c'est ça, le coût de la logistique en Afrique est trop élevé. Donc ce n'est pas une affaire de open borders ou de... Non, il n'y a pas de route. Donc les frontières sont ouvertes, tu rentres dans le pays, mais maintenant tu envoies tes produits comment? C'est ça le défi, je pense.
We have an infrastructure deficit in Africa, there is no doubt. But that is now, our role is only to point out and say, in order for the AFCFTA to move, we need to have good infrastructure interconnectivity. And there is a department in the African Union that works on the road and so on. The second component of what you are talking about is trade facilitation and transit. Customs, trade facilitation, transit. Those are embedded in the agreement that establishes the African Continental Free Trade Area. We have an annex on customs, and it is one of the areas that we have started with, customs cooperation, transit, and trade facilitation.
So the AFCFTA Secretariat has set up mechanism for monitoring non-tariff barriers. The idea is that anyone that is trading across the border and meets a problem, they can report it. And when they report it, the Secretariat will work to resolve the problem by engaging with the countries involved. So they do recognize that this is a challenge and that it would only be the people that are on ground that can know exactly what is happening. So they can be somewhere and say, oh, tariff-free trade, right? But then it's only people that are on ground that can know that, oh, even though they didn't have to pay a tariff, they had to pay a bribe that was even more than the tariff, you know? So the non-tariff barriers monitoring mechanism has been set up to monitor these barriers and to address them. So they're trying to set up a very structured mechanism to address these barriers very quickly by engaging with the regional blocs, so like ECOWAS and SADC and ECCAs and those guys, but also with the countries, because we know that within the regional blocs there are already free trade agreements and some of those arrangements. So yes, we hope that the implementation of the monitoring mechanism will lead to the resolution of some of these issues at the borders.
So there are a number of challenges at the moment that the SMEs are facing. One of the key ones is a gap in skills, knowledge, education. I mean, when it comes to, for instance, technology, we all know that we're moving into a different era at the moment, more so we trade online is very, very important. So that there are gaps in technical skill sets that is causing challenges at the moment. A gap in the fact that you have a lot of these women based in the rural areas, and these women don't have access to finance, they don't have bank accounts. There's so many things that are a challenge for them. There were the tariff barriers as well that we're aware of, but of course AFTA is addressing that. But even with that, do they really know what AFTA is all about? A lot of the SMEs, do they understand where the benefits are? Because it's not automatic that just because AFTA is here that they're going to benefit from these tariffs. They're not necessarily going to benefit for it. You need to have products that fit into the rules of origin. You need to have a certificate of origin.
You cannot buy material from China, come and sew a suit in Nigeria, and you want to export it to Cameroon and say it is made in Nigeria. It's not made in Nigeria. What's the local content of the goods from Nigeria? What's the local content? You now need to look at the rules of origin for textile and apparel to be able to understand that what you have put into this dress is sufficiently more than the raw material you brought in. Those are some of the elements we need to consider. So these issues are not at the doorstep of some of the SMEs, which lack money to maybe get consultants to put the information at their level. But then they can, through Chamber of Commerce, where they have membership of business organizations, request for government officials to provide them training. Because you have to remember, government does not do trade, but the private sector does. Government is a policy tool, and when they bring this information, it is within their mandate to digest it and put it at the disposal of businesses.
So the AFCFTA itself is not magic. It's going to take a lot of work. And I don't know if we realize how much work it's going to take. I don't know if I think the Secretariat realizes that, but I don't think the national government realize how much work this is going to take if it's going to actually give the returns that we want it to give. So it's not magic. You know, they've said many things that, oh, the AFCFTA is going to increase incomes by this amount, it's going to create this number of jobs. It's not like this is equal to this. There is a whole lot of things in the middle that have to get done, and it needs continued cooperation and commitment from everybody. So I'd say that if we keep our eyes on the goal, and if we are willing to commit, you know, the resources, willing to commit the manpower, just willing to commit our time and energy to actualizing the AFCFTA, then yes, it can lead to, you know, economic prosperity, because that's the goal for Africans, and not economic prosperity for industrial elites like the big producers. No, we want every single African to benefit from the AFCFTA.
Now the AFCFTA is not a building. It's not a building seated in Accra. The AFCFTA is you and me, and we are the drivers of this conversation. You that does tech work, you that is a farmer, you that is a furniture maker, you that is a shoemaker, you that is a filmmaker. We are all the drivers. And for the AFCFTA to work, for the economic independence, like our film says, the rise, a journey to African financial independence, for that to be achieved, everybody in every sector has to be on deck. All of us have to push the conversation. Everybody needs to hold hand. This is beyond AU alone. This is beyond regional RECs. This is beyond the AFCFTA. This is an African thing.
Okay, we back. All right. Now I'm going to call upon Ima Ncube. I hope I say that right. That's the journalist and editor of the SABC, and she'll be leading her own panel discussion. So I'm just going to call her forth to introduce the panel and then introduce the topic as well. You did promise me it's going to be short. No pressure. A round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen.
Sanbanan, Ninjani, I will be long and short. Yeah, it's been a long day. Okay. Thank you so much, Program Director. Thank you, ladies, for coming here for this event. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for putting Abafaz in the Awonye. It's a powerful one. Like, you know, when you invest in a woman, you invest in the nation or nations. So I really want to applaud you for this. You know, I'm climbing on the stage. I want to tell women that you are the tallest giants of the world. Keep it up. So, yes, my name is Ima. I'm a media person. I know media. Don't be scared. We are lovely people. I don't know why people think media people, what. We are lovely people. We love you. We want to show you women beautiful smiles, empowering you on cameras, on TV, social media. We love you. That's why we're here to support you. By the way, you are live today. The world is watching you. because its media is a vehicle of empowerment. So I really want to encourage everyone who is here to love media, to support media, and also encourage media to support women and support young people who are here. Because I can imagine a world without media. How will you know about such forums? How will you know about new opportunities? We're talking about Africa Trade Area today. We're talking about women opportunities, young people opportunities. How are they gonna know these opportunities if media is absent? So we need each other, guys. We need each other as women. We need each other as media, as women, as youth, as everyone who's here. So mine is a short one and an interesting one, just to encourage you to support media. Don't be scared of media. If you are supposed to seek information, go for it. Don't be scared. Because there's a saying in the Bible that says, we perish because of lack of knowledge. So if we don't seek knowledge, we're going to perish. But if we seek knowledge, we get empowered, we get influenced, we get to participate in events like this that influence decision making, that influence opportunities, that influence a lot of things that we're not aware of. And even unit, because women, we tend to be not united a lot, but yes, but when we watch each other, encouraging each other, coming together, supporting each other through mediums of media, through live streams, social media, we get encouraged. We face a lot as women. We face a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles, but when we listen to other women encouraging others through media platforms, we get encouraged. So as a media practitioner, mine is to encourage you to seek knowledge. You shall not perish. Your goals and your dreams will be achieved if you seek knowledge from media platforms. In South Africa, we've got, you can't hear me? 1, 2. Okay, in South Africa we've got a lot of media platforms. We've got the SABC, one of the biggest broadcasters, not only in South Africa, but also in the continent. So you can I continue? Yes, so you can seek information about opportunities from such platforms like the SAPC. There are a lot of things that are uploaded in their websites, in their television platforms. You can go to newspapers. I saw there were a lot of my colleagues who were here. They are going to showcase what women are made of. So, sorry guys, I see there are guys here. Yes, we see you, but it's what So yes, I'm encouraging you to really partner with media in everything that you do. Follow Dr. Cindy's steps. She's partnering with a lot of media people who are here because we want to empower women, to give them knowledge, to give them opportunities. Can you imagine how many women today who are watching us? We have seen people from Canada, from the Ministry of Women, from the young people, from practitioners who are here, from different stakeholders because of media. So you can imagine the kind of impact and influence that the media carries. Having said that, yes, as I'm encouraging my media practitioners to also give out information, I was at the BRICS recently. I heard a lot of young people crying, saying, these platforms, we hardly hear about these things. Well, people are not telling us, the media is not telling us. Listen, my dear young women and men who are here, don't wait for someone to give you information. Seek, you shall find. Seek, you shall find. And no one will take away knowledge from you, and no one will give you the dream to be successful if you don't push for it. Having said that, media has got many forms of communication, output platforms, avenues to talk to people, to talk to communities, to empower communities. And one of them is done through action. And today I'm not going to have a panel that is talking about media, news, all this kind of thing, editing. But it's a kind of communication that talks through action. Actors, actresses, producers. Please help me to welcome my panel. They're gonna come and showcase you how communication is done to influence a better world, a positive world through action. Thokozani from the WOMEN Foundation. Dr. Kumete We are not going to sit, as we are practitioners, we don't sit, we're going to discuss, you know. And we're not going to ask questions, we're going to discuss the influence that we carry to other women and what change we are bringing. Sorry about that. Mics. Okay, so because we've been cautioned of time, we're going to have a brief discussion. Thokozani, you can introduce yourself, give it to Dr. Gomete, introduces herself, and take it from there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thokozani Ndaba, and I'm an applied drama and theater practitioner. That means I use drama and theater as a tool for change, healing, and personal growth. So I work in different sectors where I use theater as a tool in educational space, as an educational tool, and in communities as a tool to bring about social change. Thank you.
Sanbonan? Oh, sorry. Okay, sanbonan. Dr. Kabangile Gumede, artist, actress, uphinda acule. Kodwa uyayalingisa kwabaculayo kube ngathi cula yena. Yeah, so ngi actress. Anguthi lokho nje nokusebenza ke ne community. I think izobe sesiqhubeka ke sesi yeah, bekwi introduction.
Sibonge Dr. Gumede, sibonge kuThokozani. Thokozani, I'm not going to ask you questions. I want you to tell the women who are here, what are you bringing them? What is it that they're going to take away to their homes and really say, uThokozani is our woman to go to?
Well, I think for me, what I can say, what we can take away from here as all of us as women, and I see there's also men and young men here, like you spoke about media as a powerful tool. Everybody watches television, I suppose, and everybody listens to radio, and everybody finds a way of getting into social media these days. The men there, when you're sitting and you're on Twitter and they're bashing women, and you're there and you're sitting with your friend and you're commenting, make sure that you say something positive and you help us fight this war that has engulfed us in this country on gender-based violence, on hating on women. You heard Mama Ella when she said, how can you hate people that you come from? This thing of religion, also religion saying that men are the powerful, they are the heads, whatever, it's dividing us. Let's all use religion in a positive way, the way it should be, and say, remind the young men that you come from a vagina. We all come from a vagina. Let's respect women. We work with young men and we teach them that to respect themselves as other people. What I'm going to say with all of us, it's not just women to say that this is what you should take. Your young men, your brothers at home, your uncles, when you're sitting with them, when you hear them saying something bad about a woman, just know that it starts with you. Even when we are women, we are the ones sometimes who perpetuate this violence against women, to say to kids, why are you wearing that? Hlala kahle, do this. Let's leave young women to be young women and take your part in making sure that you educate these young men, you educate these men, and you make them aware that the minute you don't do something and you laugh when umuntu makadlula, intombazane mayidlula and you don't say, wozala wena, lento emnyama, lento embi nyahle, ha 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 ha. What's there to laugh at? That could be your mother. Somebody's doing that to your mom. Somebody's doing that to your sister. So all of us, let's make sure that what we're taking from here as ourselves, we're going to make a change. It doesn't matter you're young, you're old, you're a woman, you're a man. Let's all focus and saying we're going to end this war of killing young people, on gender-based violence, on the rapes that we have in this country. I use theater and drama to move that change. Like she said, we communicate through media. If you want a safe space, like what I did when we were jumping and having fun here, I created a safe space for us to move forward and be able to talk about hard conversation. So we need art, we need theater, because it takes you to fantasy and back it to reality. community at the same time. It makes it comfortable and it comforts us all to create and fight the struggle. Like now when we say free Palestine, let's find ways of saying how do we contribute in your own home. Post about Palestine because the media is perpetuating wrong things. Palestine is like what we went through in South Africa. South Africa, we used theater and music during apartheid as a resilience. We can still do it now. Use social media. Fight the Palestinian struggle. It is all our struggle. Thank you.
Thank you, Thokozani. That was powerful. Also to add to that, theatre is not only a mode of communication, but also it contributes to the creative economy, hugely in the country and outside South Africa. So big up guys for that. I'm sure many young people want to be actors, theatre practitioners, because of the work that you're doing.
But we need what they told their stories, entrepreneurs,
Definitely.
how they use theatre, and then also how we can change any negative scene to a positive scene. So it's teaching ourselves to be positive about everywhere we use theatre of the oppressed, finding our own solutions and making change.
Thank you. I will hand over to you. Thokozani said a mouthful. Can you elaborate on that one?
Yeah, mhlambe umuntu athathe ithuba lokuthi since youth ikhona sonke siqale youth sake samantombazanyana nathi kwakhona nabafananyana ukuthi ke ngokuzi engage ezintweni ezikhona ama activities ukwenza kuyihobby ekugcine kuyicareer. Yes, abazali bethu thina ngebhadi lethu bebengas encourage, instead bebethi uzoba usikhotheni awufuni kuyoba uthisha njengengane yakasibanibani, kanti thina siphiwe lento yokuba abantu abakhulumayo sibe wothisha ngayo iart, ngoba okuningi esikwenzayo thina sisuke sifundisa. Niyazi ukuthi siya entertainer nje, abanye abantu bazothi mebeyibukela into esiyenzayo kube ngathi siyadlala, kanti egcineni kosuku mayibuka ngengqondo yokuyibheke nge-creative mind uzothola ukuthi kuyo yonke into esiyenzayo ngabe yimbi ngabe yinhle isuke ifundisa kukuwena ukuthi uyithatha kanjani. Please ngiyajabula ngoba kune youth, kunama organization youth akhona, encourageana abantwana, kungayisport kungayini, abenze something okuyiyona into ezobakhipha kuma drugs njengoba ama drugs kangaka. I think niyabona ukuthi nibancane kakhulu kunabantwana basemgwaqeni abadla ama drugs. Okuthi ke lapho ngeke sizosole nina abantu abami nathi sabanye babo ekufanele sisolwe ngoba kade kune apartheid kufa abantu bedutshulwa benziwa yonke into. Thina abanye siyazi ukuthi kwashiya ukuthi kuzoba ne chemical warfare okuthi yona le eseyibulala abantwana kangaka. Mawubulala abantwana besizwe usuku usiqedile lo sisizwe. Uma kuukuthi abekho abayifew benu kanje kusho ukuthi ngaba sina youth la, kanti youth yona fanele isilide njengamanje. Soon thina siyahamba emhlabeni. Uma kuukuthi kuzosala iyouth encane eyenza okuhle, iyouth eningi semgwaqeni, kusho ukuthi leyo country yikho. Please banta kwethu, boys and girls, angikhethile umuntu ngoba nani bantu abami babafana asinakile. Kwenziwa ama virginity test, akwenziwa zonke lezi zinto zihambe ziyosha ingane ibika inkinga yayo kumama ohlolayo, but abafana akunala bekhuluma khona. At the end of the day sithola abantwana sekuthiwa uyi-serial killer meyikhulu, sekuthiwa uya-rape nala endlini, ubulala abantu, ushaya unkosikazi wenza yonke into. Kune-anger engazange i-attendwe. Why singa-attendi iy'ngane zabafana? Angisho ngoba nginomfana kuphela, kodwa at the end of the day uyabona ukuthi akekho umuntu ovele enze into nje. Why bona yiphi le DNA bayithathe kubani? Kusho ukuthi it's us abazali. So ngiyacela maniphuma la asiyincengeni lento ukuze abantwana bezokwazi ukuthi balekeleleke, more special abafana. Ama divorce namhlanje ngazi ukuthi mangaki akhona ecourt, mangaka akhona ezindlini. Siyayizwa leyo ngoba nubaba unento emlandelayo. Sorry ngizosho into encane nje example, uZamo bayayazi sibe nomntwana womfana oresho baba wakhe at the age of 5 waze sazomthola na 19 years eqede kumrape wabaleka wathi uyayiphonsa emgwaqeni kwakuthi uyalekelelwa uya understand ukuthi lo mntwana wonke umuntu utshela ukuthi hayi mhlawumbe uyiphara noma yini mawufika umntwana kabhemi ngisho ugwayi instead unalento ekuyena emlandelayo uyacabanga ukube nentombi bezohlala eshaya intombi yakhe kanti ushaya ubaba wakhe entombini yakhe omzalayo si understand please guys siyacela ukuthi niyenze lento vele kuyakwenziwa kuma TV kukhonjiswa abantu suka hey awuyabheka usibani baze bakushaye kanti ngenkathi bakushaya ukade portray ipart wena hayi ngoba uyiyona siportray thina izinto ezikhona ezenzakalayo so please guys siyacela ukuthi ni understand ukuthi siqhamukaphi sisuke senzela ukuthi nani nikwazi ukubona ukuthi masiphila kunempilo njengale ingangabikho endlini kini but ikhona lezi zinto esisuke sizenza ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much, Doctor. For the benefit of those abangezwisi Zulu or can't understand Zulu, they do all of and those who are watching us live, Doctor has really talked a lot about social ills. We really need to educate ourselves, especially the young people. You really need to join civil groups that really influence you to be out of these evil demons that are there, drugs and all these kind of things. She also touched on the issue of education. We really need to educate young people to do better than us because they are our future leaders. Also the issue of GBV, it has been resounding since the whole day. MC, just 2 minutes. I want to challenge, I saw men here, the issue of GBV has been said since morning. The minister spoke about it, Umam Kumzile spoke about it, Dr. Sin, everyone, Umana now is talking about it. So I want 2 young men who are here who can contribute something towards that issue, and what are they taking away from this women's forum to the other guys who are outside, the other men, the other young people. I can see there are 2 gents there. Can I have a mic on one of them? There's the other one at the corner there. Can we have mics to them just for them to say something, because we want a balanced equation on this thing? Yes, it's our women's forum, but we don't exist on our own, we coexist with them. Can we hear their takeaway from this? Introduce yourself, say, and take it.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Sizwe, a young man, like my mother just said. So when we come to the issue of GBV, I think it comes from a family background. So remember that when as kids, what we see is what we do, right? So if I am a boy child and I see my mom shouting at my dad shouting at my mom, he's my hero, so it's the right thing to do. And if I see my mom and my dad, they're married, but in marriages there's arguments, there's disagreements, we can agree to that. But the moment I see my dad retaliating in an abusive manner to whatever they're arguing about, it may be the budget, the money that's coming in the family is not enough, she's overspending. So when I see my dad retaliating to my mom when she's trying to explain what's happening, I see it as the right thing to do, and my mom can't answer back at me, or my wife rather, when I'm older, my wife can't answer back at me why my dad never allowed my mom to answer back. So it's such things that stem from a very young age, and this program has really taught me to say, be there, communicate, understand people. It may not be your wife, understand your kids. If your child is wrong, you don't shout at your child. Hey, a princess does not behave this way. That's what I find from this, the topic we've had with GBV. If I'm a boy child and I beat my young sister, the solution from my mother or my father should be, hey, you're a king. Kings don't beat girls. You don't do that. When I take that, I take it in as a king. But the moment they shout at me, I feel like it's the right thing to do. I'm a child. So I feel like we can do better, both parents, moms, dads, aunts, sisters, you can do better. We are young kings and queens, and we need you to go forward and to avoid gender-based violence.
Thank you, it's Sizwe. The other young, okay, there's another one here. A quick one, oh, there's another one. Quick, the three of you, yeah, they are coming, should you be the last one. Sorry, MC, we just want to balance the equation, but we're almost done.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Bukosi, and it is an honor to stand in front of all you amazing women. My side of GVB is that the problem is also, like my brother said, the way we are raised at home, the way we are taught on how things go, the way we are taught on how to view things in our lives causes such. For example, I'll speak from it from a marriage perspective. What I want us to know is that when two people get married, the husband, yes, he might be a head outside. The respect is given and everything. But what we need to understand is that when we come back home, I personally believe that there is no husband, there is no female or male or the leader. We are to help each other in order to grow this family. So in issues like the thing that we portray, that a woman is someone who's only seen good in the kitchen, that is seen good in cleaning, for me, that also contributes to that mental issue of the gender violence. So we need to, us as men and women, work together and know that when we come in our house, we are all one. We all help each other, because in order to grow a family, it will require unity. And like my brother said, when your child does something, when someone does a mistake, the first thing to do is not to actually shout at them or beat them up. You need to ask yourself, how would I behave if I was in that situation? Then assess that situation, and then now talk to the person. There's a saying that says, treat people appropriately. So you need to understand how to treat the person at that moment. If the person is depressed, you can't just shout at your woman and say, no, you're always depressed, this is this. No. Put yourself in their shoes. Ask yourself, from the family lineage they came from, have they been struggling with this for a while? Yeah, and that's all I can say.
Good day, everyone. My name is Robert, and for me, it has been a privilege to be in the midst of everybody. And being a boy or a young adult and being held by the hand of like other women, I personally have been helped so much by women. Women held my hand, and people can testify, even my colleagues around, like everybody that has, like I can point to say this person did this for me was a woman. And those women are women that I didn't even know. I don't even deserve it. So you know, also my boss that brought me to Umlambo met me at my my software development company, where she felt like, no, there's something about this person, and then she held my hand. Like there was no way I could even sit down with Dr. Pumzile Mlambunuka in any way. But then this woman held my hand and then took me there, and up until today I can walk into her house, she can invite me, and it baffles me so much. So sitting here, I think my colleague of mine was asking me, are you feeling sleepy? And I told him, even if I'm feeling sleepy, I'm here to support the cause. That's what we are supposed to do as men. When it comes to talks about women, we are supposed to be involved. And yesterday we were having a conversation with my some of our interns, and a topic came up, and someone made mention of no, we should leave the guys. And I'm like, no, we're not leaving the guys. Men are supposed to take their role in the discussions where women are being like trampled upon. Because if you have not found yourself in a position where like someone has helped you before, like it's just amazing how women can be like, you know, I don't know, they are not self-centered. They are just so loving, and like a woman can meet you out of nowhere and take you and take care of you, nurture you, and make you someone. And like for me, it's just a privilege to be in the midst of everybody, like meeting so many beautiful people. I'm actually amazed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, gents. It's good to see young people here being influenced by their mothers, sisters, and peers. I'm sure you'll take the message to fellow brothers. We need them in this community in a positive way. I would like to thank my panelists. Because of time, I wanted us to dwell, because communication is our thing. We needed to drive it, but then because of time, we need to, so much. And I will encourage all those who want to join the theater. Thokozani is there. Please contact the organizers of the event. Umamu, Dr. Kumete, Community Advocacy. You can still talk to the event organizers as well to get this knowledge. Thank you.
A strong round of applause, please. Thank you. And thank you, Ma'am Ima, for actually including the boys in this conversation. I once read a quote and it said, we teach the girl child how to say no, but we don't teach the boy child how to accept a no. That's why we had girls being killed at post offices. That's why we have girls killed in places they shouldn't be even feeling threatened or whatever the case is, right? So we're almost there, guys. Just hold on tight. We're almost there. I'm going to call on to the last panel for the day. Actually, it's not a panel. It's almost like a open mic discussion, and it's going to be facilitated by none other than Idea Hive's Managing Director, Sarah Pandey. Round of applause.
One, two. Okay. Oh, my voice. Good afternoon. I was hijacked. I was hijacked by Cindy, and I don't know why. But I'm here today. I spent the whole day with you guys. I'm very honored to be here. I was once a youth also. Let me just brief you from where I come from. In 1998, I used to work for a Women's National Coalition. I was volunteering for 3 years. I'm actually talking to the youth. You guys expect to be paid all the time. It's not about the salary. It's not about the position. I'm even shaking because this topic is very close to my heart. You are very entitled. You think that you have to be given something for free. There's nothing for free. You have to work hard for it. I liked I don't remember the name of the lady who was here. One of the youth ladies. Kawegas. She raised some important points. It's not about opportunities that are not there. They are there. You have to go and thrive for your opportunities. I would say I'm a young youth. I've been through that, I know. But at the moment, I'm very proud of who I am today. That's actually my son, okay. And the topic that we just went through now, we need to nurture our boys. Umntwana womfana uyakhala. Umntwana womfana over emotional, bomama. I think that's where we mess it up. No. Hey, uskala, yakwa. And umntwana over battled. Yes, boys don't cry. That is the English, Mrs. Zamo. We need to teach them each and every day. If you have problems, come to me. Don't go to the street kids, your friends, because you're gonna get a wrong advice. So I'm very happy to be here. My topic today is my personal journey. I think I shared a bit about it now, but it's not all that. I work for Idea Hive. It's a digital agency. We do digital agency in precision marketing. Velemina is one of our products. I'm proud to say today that she stands here and be firm and be a strong woman for what she's doing. So my personal journey is going to be an open discussion. I'm not going to talk about me. So everyone, we need to know, how do you do it as women? How do you do it every day? You are a leader, you are a mother, and you juggle around with work also. How do you do it on your everyday life? Nenza kanjani? How do you do it? Okay, you see, I've started something.
Good afternoon. This is Pindi Ebekulu Msomi, soon to be doctor, like Dr. Cindy. I'm getting my DBA in agriculture.
Oh, nice.
It is focused on women in doing agribusiness using 4IR. So not all 51-year-olds like me don't know technology.
Oh, girl, you look 30.
Yeah, 51, 30, no,
Oh.
51. I'm in the space of social entrepreneurship. And somebody asked me why you believe that you want to first do good to people, planet, and yourself, and yet you work so hard. Solely it's because I'm a mother of 4, 2 older adult girls and twin boys who are 16. How do I do it? First of all, I lean on other women. Thank you, Dr. Cindy, for having me here. I lean a lot on other women, and the conversation that was held earlier, my passion apart from social entrepreneurship. By the way, I farm. I'm a hydroponics farmer. I'm in water management as well as renewable energy. I lean on women who have come before me. I lean on younger women who know more about renewable energy. And I think this is where we fall short, that we sometimes don't stop and ask, even as older people. As the older youth, we are also sometimes guilty of thinking we know it all. And I am that aunt in the family who, when there's sort of get-togethers, I'm the one who's sitting there, because I tend to relate with youth and I'm passionate about kids. My boys, when you started touching, I nearly stopped you when you said, no, we'll have an open discussion, because he raised his hands and nobody saw him. You did, right? And I thought, okay, he'll have a chance. We need to take our boy children with.
Yes.
We cannot raise strong women without empowering men, because those women will not be understood by the men that they will be partnering with.
Amen to that.
And we will not stop the scourge, because they are physically stronger. If they are then overpowered by the strong females, the only thing they will use is violence.
Yes.
So we really need to do that. So I take my boy kids. Hello, it's better. I take my boy kids to do farming. I do a lot of women support and training youth in farming. My children work a lot with other kids to sort of show them that we come from this semi-entitled background, but we understand where you are and where you come from. And when I do that, the lady who was here, she had to rush. She also runs a foundation on that. So I lean on to hers. It's asking, you have better knowledge. I say, hey, they called you Zamo. Zamo, I'm doing this. Can we work together? Gentlemen, you are good in terms of that. Come here, let's do this together. Because I do not believe that we can build or rebuild Southern Africa or Africa as a whole as individuals. We need to be able to lean on each other. Lastly, the issue of how we do it. I mean, I struggled. I wanted to give up on my doctorate because it was just hectic. business was doing things and post-COVID and. But I was able to do that because I said, you know what, I can't do this alone. This is what I want to do. Who can I call? I got people to volunteer to run stuff in my business whilst I do research, whilst I travel South Africa to speak to women farmers. You see what I mean? So again, mostly I take time for myself. I read. So you have to lean on others and also ask when you don't know. You can't do it alone.
Okay. A round of applause for that. I think what you're saying now, I take my son everywhere. I think everyone who knows me knows my son. I don't know what I'm gonna do because he's leaving very soon. But yeah, I take him everywhere because I need him to learn. Even buying groceries, he'll even say to me, "Mommy, this looks expensive, but the last time was a bit cheaper." It's good because now you are raising somebody who will actually take care of their wives and say, no, we need to budget. Teach your kids budgets. Junior know how to budget. He knows that this month, this roll-on is expensive. Let him be like that so that tomorrow, when he gets a woman who doesn't know how to spend money, he can control that because we know some of us. Okay, anyone?
Sorry about making you on late afternoon exercise, I guess. How do we do it? So for me, I'm past the official youth age. In a very hectic corporate environment space in banking as well. I'm a mother of 2 boys. I'm married as well. So it's very hectic balancing. I mean, I loved what Mama said earlier on about you need to find the balance, right? So what I started doing last year is to take time out for myself, like earnestly doing that and not just saying that. So I book a solo location and I will either go to a spa, and I don't mean just go for a day, like spend overnight. It's my time alone where I get to be absolutely selfish, read a book, take a nap. I mean, the last time I went for my spa treatment, my last location, I fell asleep when they were busy doing the treatment, and the lady was like, "You're so tired." I'm like, "I actually am." And I think it was the first time this year I got to catch my breath because I'm also doing my master's, and it's been like brutal. So between managing work, a family, being a daughter, I'm also umafungwash at home, so that comes with a lot of responsibilities being the firstborn daughter. So it's important to take time out for yourself and not to feel guilty about it. I think we've been reared in such a way that we're taught to be available for people like endlessly without having boundaries, whether it's at work, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends, and I think it's something that we need to be able to learn and not feel guilty about it. And also another good thing, everyone, is therapy. Therapy is really good. Yeah. I think in the society we live in that is very rushed, there's a lot of pressure, whether it's economical. I mean, even from a broader, like, global perspective, with everything that's happening around the world, sometimes, you know, you don't understand the toll that general geopolitics take on you. You're driving to work or to school, or you're sitting in a taxi or whatever, and then you're listening to all these things happening, right? Also be careful of the content that you consume, because without even realizing it, all of that stuff is agitating you, and you don't understand why. By the time you get to where you're going, you're tired, you're depleted, and all of that. So learn to filter things out, whether it is social media, whether you're listening to like radio or TV or whatever, and then take time out for yourself. And therapy, I think in today's society, it's very key. It's like an essential. It's not a luxury anymore. It's a need.
Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna be the last one, lady. So be short, please.
Hi everyone. Uzodwa Olamshanyana Omangwe. So very honored to be here. believe it or not, the question is, how do you do it? We do it. I have an exam tomorrow, but I will do it. So it is such an honor to be here, and Nkuleno Cindy went to the same high school, so it's such an honor to see her in action and to see all the beautiful women that are here. And I would love to give the greatest honor to the young kids, not kids, youth. You know, I'm so proud of you guys, and I think we all are. You know, and I think it becomes so not depressing, maybe depressing when you think of what we see, what we experience when we Mario Lokshi, and you get there and you see kids with nothing to do. You get there, you see kids on drugs. You get there, you see kids despondent, without hope. And I'm such a huge advocate of hope. And what I saw today with e-youth just brightened up my day, and that I'm going to take forward. So yeah, we do it, guys. We pray, we pray, we worship, we support each other. Find the good, find it. You need to find it. You know, find the light always. Find the perfect support structure. Abantu, they don't succeed because they don't have support. Find those people that will support you. Find those people that will carry you, because at some times you cannot even carry yourself at all. So always find the light. Always find your good. Always find it. So that's how we do it.
Thank you. I think that was the last one. What I can say from my experience, especially being a woman and being in a male sector, is not easy. Going back again, I worked for National Community Radio Forum. It used to be dominated by men. In a way that when you do conferences, you need to hear from them. I mean, angifuni ukushare nendoda. Hayibo Nkosi. Ushare nendoda kanjani because you're sharing a room. So that time we didn't have a budget. We have to squeeze people in. We have to communicate with them nicely and say, how baba bantu siyacela, it's only 2 days paid. So that it actually makes you to become as a woman and have patience at the same time, because it's not easy to deal with males in a workspace, if I may put it like that. So I'm very happy, Cindy, Dr. Cindy. I'm very happy. Please pay attention. I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much, people, for coming. And we share our thoughts, we share our ideas. Let us not stop here. Let's go far with this. We can do something. I'm from a different sector. You are from a different sector. Somehow we can meet each other halfway. Recently, we've had 3 interns. I'm actually very proud that we employed them fully, which is something that is very, very important in our society. If you want help, source it. No one will call you and say, "Do you want a job?" Or "Do you want to do an do you want to do an internship?" No one will do that for you guys. It's only you that can do that for yourself. Reach out. One of the interns, which actually inspired me, he sent an email. Okay, as Mama was saying, we have a lot of emails, but eventually somebody will answer your email. I think it passed a week, and then he called. And I was like, okay, it's Famandla, all right. Let me go back. I went back. We had an interview with him. My CEO had an interview with him. We took him. Now he's going to be employed. So determination and persistence pays. Ne? Ishebile youth. Ishebile alone. Ne? Please don't give up. Phone calls, emails, even if you take about 100, or reply emailing A1, somebody will answer you. Look at us now. Somebody answered us. and said, hi man, this girl has been volunteering for a long time. 3 years, it's a long time. Somebody was like, no man, I'm taking this one. Look at me today, I'm standing in front of you as a fully grown woman who's very informative about things. So if you need anything, I'll leave my number also, but I won't say it on the mic. I'll leave my number and then you'll get it from the MC. Okay, thank you.
A strong round of applause. How's everybody feeling? Is everybody okay? Have you ever gone to a party and you ate and you're full? That's how I feel right now. So full with knowledge, so full with so much information that I'm going to use out there. You know what I mean? So before I actually wrap it up, we have one last little surprise act. I'm going to call upon Mpai from Umlambo Foundation. They have a little some. Let's give them a round of applause as they walk up.
Yes, good evening or afternoon, everyone, again. I would like to this is a token of appreciation to Dr. Cindy and the SAE Foundation for, being willing to collaborate with us on this just wonderful forum. As she said, this is food for thought and forever and ever and ever. So we would like to just say thank you on behalf of Dr. Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka and the Umlambo Foundation for the opportunity that you've given to the youth and to our interns who came all the way from Vembe, Limpopo to participate and partake in this. They will leave with a lot of baggage. And just thank you for putting this together in the Southern African Hemisphere, because it is what we need to be reminded that as children of the soil, we are valuable, that we are powerful, that even in moments where we feel forgotten and neglected, to be reminded that there are young women and young men and men and women doing impeccable jobs within the continent. We tend to think that we tend to feel as though the work behind the African man or African woman isn't visible. Sometimes one feels as though we don't give back to the community, but this is a demonstration of the opposite, that there is a lot of work that the community does. Some are unheard, yes, some are unseen, but today you are recognized, and that is a beautiful platform. So we are grateful for this opportunity, and we would like to just give you a few, you and your team, your international team, a few gifts on behalf. I kept on saying, what are your t-shirt sizes? She didn't understand. Now she does. Mr. Ankra? He's not here, right? Okay. Yes. Well done for the work that you're doing. Mercy. Mr. Aquara, he's not here, right? So someone can take it off. And I'll come in and Vincent. Thank you so much for the wonderful work.
So for those who didn't know, that's my mom in the room. Look at her, that's how she is. Wow. Bye. Thank you so much for the surprise. And did you ask me about the t-shirts or you asked someone else? Remember, you asked me and I gave sizes. I wasn't sure where all that is going. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I think, have we come to the end? Okay. Before we close, I'll just say a few words. And again, I promise, I don't like the mic, but I guess I have to say a few words. Thank you so much to each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts. The team is not complete. What you saw here is just a fraction of the team. And as I mentioned, we are based in 7 countries across Southern Africa, so which means in each of those countries we have someone who's representing us. And I know that with the team, not everyone was moving around with us, but Sarah has been volunteering with the organization since we launched in 2010. She's actually one of the people that were plowing for us, traveling to Kwakwa, all the way closer to Lesotho, to go and meet the women and the families over there. So thank you, Sarah. She was also helping quite a lot on the ground to mobilize actually sponsorships for the youth tables. So she helped a lot with our resource mobilization. So thank you so much, Sarah. Mr. Elkaman has been great to us. Please stand up. I have to give you a round of applause and appreciate you. As tall as he is, he's a little brother to me, but he can boss me around when he wants to. He's been taking care of us along with our guests that came from outside of South Africa, driving us around safely in Joburg and actually doing our protocol. So we thank you so much. And Vincent, who traveled from Zimbabwe, is our field advisor and the youth representative to be here. And we have our chief, Ike is not here, but Ike has also been very much influential in helping with South Africa. My son, Junior, I drag him everywhere. I put him in a suit today. So Junior is here. He's been helping us a little bit. And we have our chief of protocol, Zamo. And I know she looks tiny and small, but she's feisty. She makes sure that wherever we go, our protocol is in check. She's the one who deals with our dignitaries and high-level persons. Please forgive me. Am I forgetting anyone who was here today? If not, and then of course online, all the team members outside of here, they're in Canada. Just to say thank you again to each and every one of you. Most of you didn't know Southern Africa Embrace Foundation until we came out and said we want to host the forum in South Africa. You didn't have an idea why come to a forum. There's so many events, and we know South Africa events they give. But you chose to come and spend your awesome day, leave your families behind, to come and listen to what we're sharing, what we're all about. I promise you, we are not doing these forums because we want to have dialogue. We're doing these forums because we're collecting impact. And so I hope that the next time we come together, we'll be able to share stories of what is coming out of these rooms. We actually have some people that were giving testimonies that through the forum they were able to get jobs. Through the forum they were able to get internships. Through the forum they were able to get a mentor, and that's what we actually want to do. And I just want to encourage you, connect with most of the people that were here in the room today. Don't take it for granted that Mamusha Balela said, reach out, here's my cell phone. Nag them, as Sarah was saying. Just keep nagging and do it. And let's just continue the service of believing in one another. I hope that next time we come together, it won't just be a forum, but it will be other people in the room that are bringing us to celebrate the many achievements that they're doing. And also thank you so much to Umlambo Foundation. Honestly, Umama is not here, but I will have time to see her after the forum. Thank you to the interns who braved it out of Limpopo. As I said, some of them had never come out of the province to come in and to be here with us. Thank you to Tetelelo Togozani for taking the steps to bring the kids to such forums. Sometimes it's intimidating, but you're helping them to build that confidence and showing them, putting them in rooms where they can see that it's possible for them to come out of Alexandra and have something good come out of Alexandra, because good things do come out of Alexandra and anywhere else. So we thank you for that. And to all our partners who supported, Idea Hive is one of those partners that made sure that the young people are actually sponsored to be in the room today. We also have other organizations that are in the US who did come to the table to help us to make sure that this is possible. And so we just want to thank you everything. And as we leave and we go back to Toronto, Canada, we remain strong to say we are daughters of the continent. And Mama, thank you for bringing Mama Betu from Soweto. I am so grateful for you. And Umama, every time she comes to New York in the US, she's always selling me to everyone and telling them, this is my daughter, Waselokshini. You can share me, it's fine. So I'm really awesome. And this is, again, the whole thing of Mama, intergenerational mentorship, co-leadership, supporting each other. Because from us meeting, I think 2 or 3 years ago, here we are today, and you never lost faith in that. When I Cindy one day, yes, exactly, and we're here today, so I'm really thankful for that. So Siyabonga, thank you. I'll pass it back to our MC. And of course to Mercy. By the way, Mercy planned this whole thing with us. We were all in Canada for months and months and months. We bothered her. We made her run around. Stand up again. We just want to give you a round of applause and say thank you for running around for us. And of course, I think Emma stepped out with Zintle. I don't know where Zintle is. I want to say thank you to Media Market for helping us with the production and connecting us to the media hubs. I heard that we were Newsroom Africa today, SABC. There she is at the back. So many media houses were presented, and that's why she spoke a lot about let's work with media, because if we don't, our voices will just end in these rooms. But what we're able to do today is from 10 a.m. we've been streamlining on YouTube until now. So people have been watching, whether they're in Egypt or they're in Russia or they're in Canada or Zimbabwe, they've been following, they've been in the room with us. And so we're very grateful for that. And of course, to the Capital Melrose Hotel for giving us the space, for allowing us to be here today, and SAPS for coming on board to do the patrol for us to ensure that we are safe as we're here, for them taking our time to give the service. I think, MC, if I forgot, I don't want to do your job, but, and thanks to you. Wasn't she great? She was great. Please give her a round of applause. Of course, give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. She was awesome. She was really awesome. Thank you. And Doris and Tanya stepped out for them. I think we actually have someone who traveled from Tanzania as well. She's a young woman who actually attended our first forum in Tanzania. I think she stepped out of the room. And when we were hosting this one, she said, I'm going to come to South Africa to make sure that I'm there to support you, because I believe in what your organization is doing. So thank you everyone for the great support, and Nee for ensuring that we're always looking good on camera and following us around to capture every moment. We appreciate it. The students from University of Johannesburg just left. We appreciate them as well for all the help. And for Kolisani, she was working hard behind the scenes, and that's Kolisani for you. She was helping with all the other volunteers from the registration. She's been there with us. And so I really appreciate everyone for coming. If anyone that I've left and not mentioned by name, it is not because you are not valued. We value you. And my heart is full. And I believe that, and I was telling the young people yesterday that the accolades don't matter, the titles don't matter. I actually do not like being called Dr. Cindy, because for me, as Umama Ambassador said earlier before Spongisen, is just fine. So I hope that, you know, we don't dwell on the titles, but we dwell on what was Cindy able to do today? What were you able to achieve today from being in this forum? So again, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. And we love Johannesburg. It's been great. So thank you so much.
A strong round of applause. That makes my job easier now. I can just say bye, because she did everything for me. But it was honestly lovely hosting you guys. You guys are a really lovely crowd. You guys are very interactive. You guys smiled back at me, and that's the worst thing that can happen to an MC. Your crowd not smiling back. You're like, am I ugly? Is it me? Am I the problem? But you guys were absolutely lovely, and please, let's do this again next year. Same place, same time, with more people. And as for me, Wilhelmina Simono, thank you, goodbye, and God bless.
1, 2. what
My name is Dr. Cindy Zamora Bernard. I'm the founder and Chief Executive Officer at Southern Africa Embrace Foundation, and I'm here today with Her Excellency Dr. Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. Mama, please introduce yourself.
I am Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. I live in Johannesburg. I work with a foundation called Umlambo Foundation, which is working in schools and with teachers. And before that, I was in the South African government, and I was also in the United Nations.
Thank you, Mama, for that introduction. It takes me right to the question of now you are leading with purpose, doing something that not that you didn't love your previous roles, but you are leading Umlambo Foundation. May you tell us a little bit about the foundation?
As you know, I was working a lot with women around the world at the United Nations, but now I work much more intensely with younger women. These are the ones that are at school. Right now, this is our future. This is where we need to invest for the future. But to get to them, you actually need teachers to do the right thing, to ensure that the girls will thrive, will be successful academically as well as citizens. So our foundation does curriculum development for the teachers, but also on the side, we're looking at the soft skills that the girls need. How the girls must regard themselves as leaders, how the girls must avoid to be abused. They should know the signs, as well as how the girls must see themselves as people that are responsible in their communities.
You are very passionate about, not were, but you are passionate about the girl child. We saw this in the work that you are doing at UN Women. We've seen it in the work that you continue to do. But I have to ask, we thought probably Umama is retiring when she left, when you left UN Women, but here you are today, you're still going. What are some of the lessons that you've brought on with you to where you are now that you can give to some of us who are continuing to work even in our younger ages, and we're looking at you saying, one day I hope to achieve as much as Umama has achieved or is achieving, and I hope that I can continue to have the strength to do what she's able to do now.
Yeah. You know, it's both about having people you can share your experiences with, so that they can take what they need from your experience. Not everything I've done is useful, but to the extent that aspects of my work are useful, I like to stay involved, because if I sit in a board, chances are that whatever we will discuss, I have seen it 100 times before. So I can then bring those experiences in that particular situation. You know, my message to young people is to make sure that you have a work-life balance. I didn't have it, but this is the message. If I were to live my life again, I would try. I would say to young women with young children, your children are the most important asset in your life. Young women and fathers, because this is a joint venture. Parenting is about both sexes taking responsibility. If as a young parent you have to go out of a boardroom to go and watch a soccer match, so be it. Because you're actually giving your children a memory that will give them the strength they will always need. In a boardroom, someone will always sign the papers. Your life does not depend on the number of boards you have sat in, but in the number of memories you have created for the younger generation. So if I don't share anything else with the women, with you as well, and people come after me, that is the most important example. But of course, we grew up at the time of apartheid. We wanted to dismantle apartheid, and we gave it our all. I just hope no other young person has to do what we did. Because in the process of doing that, our work-life balance was totally out of sync. We fought so that your lives will roll out better. But we want you to give us another future that we have not created for ourselves, because it just was out of our hands. Yours is to see how we reconstruct the country. Yours is climate change. Yeah? Yours is racism. Yours is peace. Yours is food security. These are all the issues that we would like to see you running with into the future. And you don't have to be throwing stones at the Boers the way we did.
And Mama, we're sitting here today because in 2 days we are hosting the Women Lead Forum. Thank you again. This will be the second time that you're supporting us in this forum. We launched it last year in Tanzania. You were part of it to deliver a goodwill message, a passage for us to say, I am supporting you young women, go ahead and do this. And here we are in Johannesburg, we brought it home. And again, we find you in the forefront of supporting us with this work. Women Lead Forum was launched because we wanted, as young people in the continent of Africa, to launch a network of us working together with our elders, our peers, to support one another, not just in conversations for dialogue, but to ensure that we share experiences, we learn from you, vice versa, but we can always support each other as well for impact. As you're mentioning it, we are not fighting the Boers. We are talking about things that are affecting us today. As you mentioned, peace and security, food security and things like that. Your Excellency, we are hosting the Women Lead Forum on Thursday, and we have some interns that are coming from your foundation. Thank you so much for ensuring that they are coming to the table, not just to participate, but also to leave an impact and to share their voice. What are some of the key things that you found working with the young people at Umlambo Foundation that are impactful and that you'd like for young people that will be in the room on Thursday to take away?
Firstly, congratulations for the forum. I'm really so proud of the effort we have put into this and how it has shaped out. It's hard to believe that it was only last year when you lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that. Imagine that. And intergenerational forums are important because the older people are able to share their experiences, and the younger people are able to project into the future. And we have different lived experiences. So sometimes we look at the same picture and we see different things because we are informed by our lived experience. And in the forum that you are going to be having in the coming week, and for the interns as well, it's really important to raise the bar. For the young people to actually know that there are difficulties, there are stairs to climb, but they're equal to the task. That they have time on their side, and as a generation, they can organize themselves to achieve something that holds them together as a generation. Because in a group of young people, the world has a chance to begin again, because they actually work together to take us somewhere. Like Frantz Fanon said that, every generation has an opportunity to take us somewhere. They have a cause to defend. They can either betray the cause or defend it successfully, but they must know what is it that they are defending it. You're defending the planet Earth now with climate change. You are addressing the challenges of food security that we see as a coming threat that will affect young people. But also for young people, we need you to be a bit more thorough with the education. Because we are just seeing that, you know, sometimes technology gives young people shortcuts and then we don't get depth. We want young people to be masters of something. There must be something they know and know well. And for women, you are the person responsible for your destiny. Absolutely. Just make sure that you are in charge and you actually stand up and you lead for them. I mean, you lead for yourself and for sisterhood and for every group of women. They must not forget sisterhood. It is absolutely important to be in solidarity and to work together, because you know what, there's a special place in hell for women who don't support other women. So whenever women get together, you have to remind them, you are here, we're fighting these different struggles, but support each other. And to men, this gender mess is their mess. You therefore have to bring them into the struggle to support those men who are willing to take up the struggle and to recruit those who have not, so that they can see their responsibility in the future that we want to have. If men don't take responsibility for GBV, GBV will continue because it is men who beat up women. If men do not take responsibility for ending child marriage, children will continue to be forced into these marriages. So there is such a big role for men to play, and it cannot be just on the shoulders of women. Women are doing too much. Too much. Women must not see this as just their responsibility. It is a societal responsibility, and men have a big role in it.
Absolutely. Well, Mama, we're going to end our conversation so that we don't keep you, but any words of inspiration, encouragement to everyone who's joining us at the forum, and your takeaways?
You know, eyes on the ball. Eyes on the ball. Choose the things you want to do, who you want to be, and focus on that. Don't sweat the small stuff. There will be diversions and things like that. Keep your eyes on the ball. That's the most important thing, so that you can see this is where I started and this is where I'm going.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
It was a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.